Hello, my name is Keith Nargi, Qumulo's Field CTO, and I want to talk to all of you today about how your file storage vendors are holding customers like you hostage. Qumulo, just to give you a brief introduction to who we are, is a next-generation file data platform for the modern era. Today, customers like you demand choice and deployment flexibility for their infrastructure. You have the freedom to choose a server platform to run your applications on, or your virtual infrastructure on, or what cloud you want to move certain applications up to. Why shouldn't you have the same freedom and flexibility when picking a file data platform? Qumulo gives you and our customers that freedom and flexibility because our systems are truly software defined. They are built from the ground up to be hardware agnostic, whether that hardware is a on-premise piece of hardware or a cloud platform, both of which have the ability to run our file system on. I'm about to show you 4 separate Qumulo clusters. The first two, as you can see on screen here, is a Qumulo system that has 10 nodes in it. And if I click over to the overview of this cluster, what you will see is that this is a model QC24, which means it's a Qumulo branded piece of hardware, which is an x86 enterprise grade platform that we put together with our name on it. And each one of these consists of 24 terabytes per node. If I switch over to this next tab, same management console that you just saw between the two. But if I come to the cluster overview on this, you'll see it's a 4-node HP Apollo 4200 180 terabyte node. What you can see here is that the management of the system, the software running the file system, is exactly the same, but the cluster details are different. You have 2 very distinct hardware platforms, one put together by Qumulo and the other by HPE. This is really important because it gives you, the customer, the flexibility and choice around what hardware you want to use from our hardware compatibility list to run our software on. Even more importantly than this hardware is this ever-evolving shift to the cloud. And Qumulo, being a software company, allows you to see the exact same management console, the exact same feature functionality. But this time on these next 2 clusters, you'll notice this is Qumulo and AWS. The model shows that this is where our software is running on underlying hardware or software systems that make up the cloud environment. Just like if I switch over to this is the same exact dashboard, but now if I go to the overview, you'll see this is Qumulo in the Google Cloud. We are the epitome of software defined and allowing customers the freedom and flexibility to be taking their file data platform and moving it to where their data needs to go. It's that flexibility and portability that makes us a modern file system. Now, compare that to the likes of a Dell Isilon platform, where Isilon is going to force you, the customer, to buy very expensive and proprietary hardware systems. Sure, they'll tell you the power is in OneFS, the software, and that software only runs on Dell hardware platforms. This locks you into a very expensive system with proprietary hardware like a battery-backed NVRAM. It doesn't give you a real choice for how you want to deploy. If you wanted to buy new or upgrade existing, you have to buy their hardware. Over the years, Isilon has gotten even more complicated with many more requirements and fewer nodes to deploy on. And now they're forcing you, the customer, to buy Dell servers to run OneFS on. Even their cloud deployments for Isilon require dedicated hardware that is cloud adjacent. It's not native to the cloud. It's hardware sitting in a data center next to a cloud service provider. Think about this when it's time for you to refresh or buy a new file data platform, or when you need to upgrade an existing system and you're forced with this vendor lock-in. Do I want the freedom of choice and flexibility like I have in the rest of my infrastructure? Or do I want to be locked into a very expensive hardware platform that doesn't give me the ability to move my system where my data is going? I think you'll see that Qumulo's software approach is what you're going to want going forward in the next generation of file data boom. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you in the future.